Brad Smith, Tools and Weapons, The Promise and the Peril of the Digital Age. Welcome to the world of digital transformation in Tools and Weapons, The Promise and the Peril of the Digital Age, by Brad Smith. Embark on a journey that sheds light on the intricate landscape of data, privacy, technology, and the challenges faced in the evolving digital era. The book explores the implications of our past and present reliance on data and how it has shaped our world. Discover the physical reality of cloud computing, the power struggle between citizens and their governments regarding privacy, and the crucial balance that must be struck in handling sensitive information. The book also exposes the potential dangers of cyberattacks and the increasing polarization caused by the spread of misinformation online. Delve into the ethical questions surrounding artificial intelligence and the call for tech companies and governments to collaborate for a brighter digital future.
The evolution of data. From the scrolls of antiquity to the cloud, data has been integral to human progress and security. Throughout history, humans have relied on data to make progress. The transfer of information from one generation to the next has allowed for the development of great architecture, mathematical solutions, and military strategies. The invention of the printing press in the 15th century led to a democratic revolution, as more people gained access to human achievements through the printed word. With the acceleration of commerce in the 19th and 20th centuries, there was an exponential increase in the amount of data in the world. By the mid-20th century, organizations had filing cabinets overflowing with data for every imaginable purpose. Today, digitization has allowed for a quantity of data inconceivable at any other moment in history, the cloud. Although the term, the cloud, might bring to mind a fluffy cumulus, the reality is more like a fortress. Each time we search for something on our mobile devices, we're pulling information from a gigantic data center. These modern marvels, such as the one in Quincy, have two campuses with over 20 huge, nondescript buildings, each the size of a football field and containing thousands of servers. In one of these humming, cavernous rooms is likely our own digital file, photos, private emails, and bank account details. Even more impressive is the fact that each data center has an exact double, ensuring that if a disaster strikes one location, our data will remain safe in another. From the scrolls of antiquity to the cloud, data has been integral to human progress and security. Edward Snowden and the clash between privacy and government. In 2013, Edward Snowden, a former NSA employee, leaked classified documents to The Guardian and The Washington Post, exposing the U.S. government's extensive surveillance program. He revealed that the NSA and British government had been hacking into undersea fiber optic cables to access private user data, phone records, and other confidential information belonging to millions of people. The revelation brought about a clash between the people and their government, igniting a long-standing debate on the extent of citizens' privacy rights. The issue was first sparked in the 18th century by British MP John Wilkes, who won a landmark case that ruled authorities must have greater probable cause to support a search, thereby marking the birth of modern privacy rights. Snowden's actions once again reignited the same debate, exposing the age-old tendency of governments to encroach on their citizens' private lives. Technology and terrorism. The Charlie Hebdo attack in 2015 highlighted a new relationship between technology and terrorism. Microsoft's President Brad Smith witnessed the attack in his office and helped the FBI track the attackers' email accounts. The incident raised concerns about the government's access to private data and led to Microsoft suing the government for the right to inform customers about data usage. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of Microsoft, leading to constructive discussions between the government and tech companies regarding privacy and accountability. This was a crucial first step toward finding a balance between technology, terrorism, and privacy. Data policies and ethical considerations in the tech industry. The development of digital age technology and its accompanying data collection practices have raised important ethical considerations. The global tech industry must navigate different cultural perspectives on data privacy, as well as the potential for human rights violations that can come with mass data collection. A visit to an old East German prison by a group of German Microsoft colleagues highlighted the consequences of a country's regime collecting vast amounts of data on its citizens. This experience led Microsoft to review its policies on where data centers could be located and who would be permitted to access citizens' data. Countries with strong human rights records are ideal locations for tech companies, but stability and ethical considerations must also be evaluated. The path to totalitarianism can be short, and the tech industry must be prepared to face these challenges in the future. The potential horror of cyberattacks. In 2017, a global cyber attack known as WannaCry crippled a third of the UK's National Health Service and impacted over 150 countries. The malware used was developed by the US government but was stolen and leaked on the dark web. It's believed that North Korea launched the attack in retaliation to a previous one by the US. This incident alarmed tech corporations like Microsoft, who fear the consequences of more severe cyber attacks. The potential consequences include hacked automatic vehicles, shut down banks, and turned off life support systems. The future could be bleak if we don't remain vigilant. The dark side of the Internet. The Internet, once envisioned as a tool to connect the world, has a shadowy side leading to the dissemination of fake news, which has caused a profound impact on various communities on social media platforms. This phenomenon leads to online bubbles, where people become more polarized with their beliefs and accept misinformation as a fact. Russian operatives have been successful in spreading fake news fabricated to influence the outcome of the 2016 US elections, leading to social divides and nationwide protests. However, it is important to note that creating discord in other nations is not a new threat. Genet, a French ambassador, caused significant trouble in America back in 1793, appealing directly to the public and driving a wedge between the American population. Given that foreign influence is one of the greatest threats to Republican government, Washington had to send Genet back to France to mitigate his potential impacts. The real concerns with AI today. AI's central concern today is bias present in its systems and the teams that build them. Developing AI into all-powerful machine overlords and the singularity is still a science fiction fantasy. Artificial intelligence, AI, has become an integral part of our daily lives, but what should we be concerned about? While there is a fear that AI will become an all-powerful machine overlord, it is merely a science fiction fantasy. AI's real concerns are the bias present in its systems and the teams that build them. The largest store of data existing today is the cloud, and with AI now connected to it, there is an anxiety that the amalgamation of all data will reproduce increasingly sophisticated AI, leading to a time when superintelligence will emerge. The problem with AI bias begins with the data sets that are too unrepresentative. For instance, even if facial recognition data sets can predict white men's faces with a high degree of accuracy, they become less accurate when predicting faces of women or people of color due to smaller data sets available for these demographics. Moreover, researchers found that a more diverse group of researchers and engineers was more likely to spot problems in the design since bias affected them personally. The poet and scholar Joy Buolamwini with Timnit Gebru found worse accuracy rates for black politicians in Africa compared to white politicians in Europe. In summary, the real concern about AI today is the bias present in its systems and the technology teams that build them. The development of AI into all-powerful machine overlords and the singularity is still a science fiction fantasy that we need not worry about yet. The power and responsibility of technology. Technology can be a force for good or evil. Two examples of its positive potential include using AI to decode historical documents and predict poaching behavior. However, to ensure that technology is used for positive purposes, tech companies must consider their broader aims, and governments must educate themselves and regulate digital technology. The world must choose whether technology will master us or we will master technology for positive ends.
In Tools and Weapons, The Promise and the Peril of the Digital Age, we have traversed the fascinating, complex, and, at times, intimidating world of technology. Throughout history, data has played a significant role in our progress, and with the advent of modern technology, it possesses the power to benefit humankind like never before. However, as we encounter security challenges, privacy concerns, and ethical questions, it is imperative that we find equilibrium between the empowerment of technology and the potential risks that come along with it. This book has highlighted the importance of collaboration between governments and technology companies to create a world where technology serves the greater good for all. Our common goal should be to shape a future that sees us creating and using tools responsibly and ethically, allowing us to unlock the promise rather than experience the peril of the digital age.